Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejas Vinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om and welcome to today's Satsang. We are discussing Tattvabodha of Sri Adi Sankrachharya. I'll chant the Mangalacharan. Vasudevendra Yogendram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. We are all seekers, and Bhagwan, out of great compassion towards us, has given us this text, Tattvabodha. We have studied what Tattvabodha is, what is Vivek, and now we have also talked about a person who has realized what this Tattvabodha is. So what are the consequences for such a person? Such a person is liberated from all bondages of actions. And what are those actions? Those actions are clubbed in three buckets. One is Sanchit Karma, one is Agami Karma, and another is Prarabdha Karma. So Sanchit Karma fall in the category of those where they go to add to our account. All the past karmas that we have done, they get deposited in an account figuratively. And from this account, with each birth, a certain set of karmas which have matured for giving fruit, they are doled out as our prarabdha karma. And then when we undertake karmas in the present life which are likely to yield result in future, they come under category of agami karma. So all these karmas, sanchit, prarabdha, agami, their realized person who has got established in Tattvabodha, for him all the bondages of this karma, he is removed from the shackles of these bondages. This is what we have studied so far. And now today Bhagwan has talked of what happens to each of these karmas in the life of such a realized master. So prarabdha karma, he has said, whether it is realized or it is an ignorant person, they will get exhausted only by experiencing them. Bhogne ke baad, they have to be experienced to get exhausted. They are like an arrow which has been shot, and now it can't be recalled back. It will go and hit its target. That is the nature of prarabdha karma. So whatever happiness and sorrows are in store, they will have their effect. So now we come to what happens to sanchit karma of a realized master, page 122. Sanchitam karma brahmeva ham iti nishchayatmaka jnanena nashyati. So sanchit karma of a person who is in the space of aham brahma asmi, they get destroyed nishchayatmaka nashyati, with the definite knowledge of this jnana. Which is this jnana? Aham brahma asmi. Guruji writes, Sanchit karma is destroyed by the firm knowledge, I am the truth, Brahma alone. A man commits many crimes and is wanted by the law for them. There are many criminal cases pending against him in the courts, but when he dies, the file is closed. The one who committed those crimes is no more available to be punished. Similarly, the finite individual who identifies with the body owns all its actions, collects them, and later enjoys or suffers their result in the present and future births. This feeling of finitude is born from the ignorance of one's true nature. On gaining the knowledge and the infinite consciousness, the false notion that I am the finite, changing, suffering entity is destroyed. There remains no individuality that owns actions or identifies with the body to enjoy or suffer them. Therefore, the entire capital of actions becomes null and void. It cannot give results. It is compared to roasted seeds. Once roasted, they can no longer sprout. So, he is given the logic also, Swami Tejomayananda ji, how these sanchit karma get destroyed. So, we suffer all these things so long we consider ourselves to be finite. That is the conditioning we have due to this body-mind intellect. When this condition gets dropped and your finitudeness gets dropped, then there is no action on the infinite. How can there be any action on the unchanging infinite which you have become? Therefore, the entire capital of actions becomes null and void. Any questions on this? I'll not ask Anuji because she has already excused herself. Anuji, any question that comes to your mind? At death, the gross body of the ignorant and that of the wise disintegrate to merge with the 5 gross elements. The subtle body of the...
अरुण जी,
हाँ जी,
एक थॉट आया है,
हाँ
आपसे
जी,
पूछना चाहूंगा।
जी हाँ,
कुछ इससे रिलेटेड है और कुछ गीता चैप्टर 18 से रिलेटेड है।
जी हाँ, जी हाँ,
कि जैसे तत्वबोध में हमने पढ़ा कि जो ज्ञानेंद्रियां हैं और जो माइंड है, परसेप्शन, वो सात्विक है। जो ये पंच तत्व सात्विक हैं, उससे ये बनते हैं।
जी हाँ,
और जो कर्मेंद्रियां हैं और जो पंच प्राण हैं, वो पंच तत्वों के रजस से बनती हैं।
जी हाँ,
और चैप्टर 18 में मैं देख रहा था,
जी हाँ,
कि उसमें ये था कि इंटेलेक्ट जो है प्रिडोमिनेंटली सात्विक है और माइंड और सेंस ऑर्गन्स प्रिडोमिनेंटली राजसिक है।
जी हाँ,
तो इसमें जो मुझे विचार आ रहा था, दोनों को जब मैं कंपेयर कर रहा हूँ,
जी हाँ,
तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि इंटेलेक्ट जो है वो अब अगेन सांसारिक लेवल पे, आध्यात्मिक लेवल पे तो सब परमात्मा है। ये तो हम संसार को संसार के लेवल से समझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तो उसमें क्या इंटेलेक्ट करीब है परमात्मा के, या वर्ल्ड से जो ये तामसिक शरीर है और जो ऑब्जेक्ट्स है, जो ये शरीर है, ये तो तामसिक पंच तत्वों से बना है।
जी हाँ,
तो जो हमारी कर्मेंद्रियां हैं और जो हमारी ज्ञानेंद्रियां हैं, वो जब इसके साथ जुड़ती हैं और मन इसके साथ जुड़ता है,
जी हाँ,
तो उसमें मलिनता या राजसिक और तामसिक वाला आने लगता है गुण। जैसे आगे जाकर के गीता में या गुरुदेव ये लिख रहे हैं कि ब्राह्मण जो है उसमें 80% सात्विक है, 15% राजसिक है और 5% तामसिक है। इस तरीके से भी गुरुदेव ने एक्सप्लेन किया है। तो ये तादात्म्य से हो रहा है।
तो इसमें दो चीज़ें आ गई अनिल जी। एक तो बात आ गई थ्योरी ऑफ क्रिएशन which Tattvabodha has taken up. So as I said in the beginning, there are many theories of creation, and the concept used by Gita is that mind is predominantly Rajasic, whereas out here they are saying it is predominantly Sattvic, made from Sattvic components. So I look at it from this point of view, that perhaps these things do not require much of our time, because there are so many theories in the scriptures itself. Now, having said that, still because we are on the path and we come across such interpretations, so I would agree with you that it is the association that gives the lens the color. So a wise Brahman, predominantly Sattvic, just being born in a certain environment doesn't mean that this is how you are going to be. I think a child anywhere is as sweet and as lovable as any. It's that your vasanas that you have come with, you have chosen a certain surrounding. अब वो ब्राह्मण कुल में पैदा होने के बाद भी हो सकता है कि उसको ऐसी सराउंडिंग मिले कि उसका तादाद में राजसिक की जगह सात्विक की जगह राजसिक या तामसिक में हो, तो देन हिज माइंड एंड everything will work more predominantly with that, despite his being a Brahmin. So a Brahmin per se, where you are 80% Sattvic, is a person whose mind and intellect is absorbed in the pursuit of knowledge and scriptural engagement. और इसीलिए ब्राह्मण का एक इंटरप्रिटेशन ये भी है जो ब्रह्मा की प्राप्ति में लगा हुआ है. So that is a Brahmin, not a person who is merely born in a certain this thing. और गीता में उन्होंने ये भी कहा है कि मैंने जो वर्ण व्यवस्था करी है, that is based on your गुण कर्म. So गुण कर्म के हिसाब से अगर आप ब्रह्मा के परस्यूट में हो, then you are fit to be called a Brahmin. And therefore that 80% Sattvic makes resonance with this thought. So what you are inferring seems to be the right inference, कि आप जिस तरह का तादाद में है वैसे ही ये कलर हो जाते हैं, और यही जो है सारा इल्यूजन का बेसिस भी है. लाइक पुटिंग अ बॉल ऑफ आयरन इन फायर, व्हाई डज द फायर अज्यूम शेप and why does the ball become fire? Because of the tadatma. So each is coloring the other, which is characteristics. So that is probably the best way to understand this difference of concepts perhaps. ठीक है जी. I endorse what you have inferred. The truth some realized soul can shed light on, but this makes ample sense. So I'll read ahead. At death, the gross body of the ignorant and that of the wise disintegrates to merge with the 5 gross elements. The subtle body of the ignorant man, propelled by the causal body or the force of previous actions, leaves the gross body to take up a new body according to the results of actions that have fructified. So, what goes from one body to the other is the subtle body. Praya, when we talk, we say Atma chali gayi ya kuch. Atma doesn't go anywhere. It is all pervading. What goes is your subtle body, man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, which then acquires a new body in keeping with the past karmas that have now matured to give fruit. And according to that, you pick up the kind of form and color and place where you are born. The subtle body of the wise man merges with its 5 elements, subtle elements, as there is no propelling force to give it direction or hold it together. So, once your sanchit karma are over, there is no other karma left for you to take birth. And your agami karma are also over. So, that also merges with the 5 elements. The causal body, the cause of the gross and subtle bodies of the wise man, is destroyed by the knowledge of the self. There is no more birth for him. For example, space appears to be conditioned by a pot. Once the pot breaks, the pot space merges with the total space. ये एक वेदांत का बहुत अहम क्वेश्चन है. Pot is known as Ghat and Akash is space. So, क्या आकाश घट में है या घट आकाश में है? ये एक क्वेश्चन वेदांत में आता है. So it is almost as much of a teaser as क्या सोना ऑर्नामेंट्स में है या ऑर्नामेंट सोने में है. So घट आकाश में है या आकाश घट में है. So once you follow this trend of thought, that pot is the conditioning only. Once the condition disappears, space is only one. So space can never be inside a pot. It is a pot that has to be in space, just like the gold cannot be inside the ornaments. Ornaments have to be inside gold. So once the pot breaks, only space remains. When ornaments disappear, only gold remains. There is no actual merging. वो स्पेस पहले भी था, बाद में भी रहेगा, वो वही है. Space was always one and all pervading, even when the pot existed. So, what is the implication to a realized person? The implication is that the realized person says, Aham Brahmasmi. He was always Brahman. He is Brahman. What has dropped is the body. That's all. What was making him finite has disappeared with the knowledge that I am Brahman. So the conditioning having disappeared, there is nothing else but Brahman only. So in Vedanta they also say Brahmavit Brahma eva. One who knows Brahman becomes Brahma only. Any questions? So we go now to what happens to the agami karmas of a realized master. Agami karma api jnanen nashyati kincha agami karmanam nalini dalgat jalavat jnaninam sambandho nasti. So here also I will go by how this Sanskrit grammar works and how we interpret. So this will not be in keeping with what interpretation we will read entirely, but this is what I have understood. So agami कर्म अपि, जो आगे आने वाले कर्मों के फल हैं वो भी ज्ञानेन नश्यति, ज्ञान से नष्ट हो जाते हैं. आगे बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग वर्ड्स हैं. किंच आगामी कर्माणाम. किंच इज फर्दर. आगामी कर्माणाम. आगामी कर्माणाम इज अगेन 7th विभक्ति in the agami karmas. So now this has to be interpreted how these further jnaninam sambandho nasti. Jnani has no sambandh in the future fruits of actions. Kincha agami karmanam jnaninam sambandho nasti. Right? So first thing agami कर्म खत्म हो गए और एक ज्ञान से, और ज्ञानी पुरुष का जो एनी एसोसिएशन अटैचमेंट जो हमारे अज्ञानियों का होता है कि भी हमने ये करा तो आगे हमें ये मिलेगा, सो वो संबंध भी ज्ञानी का खत्म हो जाता है. इन व्हाट? इन द फ्यूचर कर्मास, विच मीन्स फ्रूट्स ऑफ कर्मास. कैसे खत्म हो जाता है? लाइक नलिनी दलगत जलवत, जस्ट एज the leaf of a lotus, despite staying in water, does not hold water on itself. So वो रह रहा है संसार में, प्रारब्ध का कर्म चल रहा है, लेकिन आगामी कर्म से असक्त है. This is how I have understood. What Pujya Guruji writes, Agami karma is also destroyed by knowledge, and the wise man is not affected by it, as a lotus leaf is not affected by water on it. So this is what he has said. It is complete in every way, except that I have expounded it the way Sanskrit is written. The sanchit karma is destroyed by knowledge, and the wise man is not reborn. The prarabdha karma too does not affect him, as he has no identification with the body. But what about the actions done in the present? Would he not have to enjoy or suffer their results here or hereafter? Since the very notion of doership dies, there remains none to enjoy or suffer the results of actions done even in the present. So the reason for not suffering the agami karma consequences again, and you are no longer the doer enjoyer. So akarta abhokta is a very good positive pedestal to work for, because the moment you sit on that pedestal, your sanchit karma also go for a toss, your agami also go for a toss, and you make sure that you don't collect anymore and you just exhaust the present. अकर्ता अभोक्ता बहुत जरूरी है. Remaining in the midst of actions, he is still totally untouched by them, like the lotus leaf in water. The lotus leaf is born in water, remains in water and dies there, yet it never gets wet. Since once Sri Buddha was abused while he was asking for alms, the disciple got angry and asked Sri Buddha, "Shall I give him a piece of my mind?" Sri Buddha said, "If you have taken anything, you have to return it. Since I have not taken anything, I do not have to give back anything." ये बहुत सुंदर दृष्टांत है जिससे हम प्राय ignorant people get colored and we act as per this. But actions must have result. If they do not go to the wise man, who gets them? It is explained thus. Kincha ye jnaninam stuvanti bhajanti archiyanti tan prati jnani kritam agami punyam gacchati. So, jnani kritam, deeds done by a jnani, agami punyam gacchati, the results of the agami punya, of the deeds, good deeds done by jnani purush, they go to those who praise a jnani purush, who serve a jnani purush, who worship a jnani purush. And those ye jnaninam nindanti, those who discredit him. निंदा is जो उनकी बुराई करते हैं या द्वेष रखते हैं, द्वेषंती, दुख प्रदानम कुर्वन्ति, या उनको किसी प्रकार का दुख देते हैं, तान प्रति टू देम ज्ञानी कृतम सर्व आगामी क्रियामाणाम, उनको ज्ञानी पुरुष से करे हुए आगामी कर्मों का फल जाता है। कौन से फल कर्म? यद वाच्यम, जो प्रेजवर्थी नहीं है। वाच्यम मीन्स बाय स्पीच विच आर नॉट प्रेजवर्थी कर्म। पापात्मकम which are of the nature of sin, tad gacchati, they go to such a person. Suhridaha punya krityam, duhridaha pap krityam grahanti iti. So those who are having good nature towards a jnani, they get the punya karma. Those who are having a bad nature, they get the pap karma. This is the result of the agami karmas of a jnani. They have to go somewhere. So what Guruji Swami Tejomayananda ji writes, further to those who praise, serve and worship the wise man, go the results of the good actions done by the wise man. To those who criticize, hate or cause pain to the wise man, go the results of all unpraiseworthy and sinful actions done by the wise. There would be some questions like how does Jnani do these things? So this we'll discuss now. Friends take the meritorious results and enemies the demeritorious results. Every action has two sides. If its good effects far override the bad, we call it a good action. The doctor operates on the patient and causes him pain and the relatives tension, yet it is a good action. When the bad effects dominate, it is a bad action. The wise man's actions always spring from good intentions, but they can have bad effects also. Since the wise man is also not the enjoyer or sufferer of the good or the bad results, whom do they go to? It is said that good results go to those who love him and the bad to those who hate him. The wise man himself does not will that the results go to any particular person. The actions done by him are the will of the Lord or the demand of the totality, samashti. The results are therefore distributed according to his will and the will of the totality. The mind of one who loves and worships the wise man is purified and therefore attracts the results of good actions. The mind of one who criticizes and hates is negative and therefore attracts the results of bad actions. One who has the value for knowledge and ideals, whose mind is pure and subtle, recognizes the greatness of the wise man. They revere and serve him, not for getting merits, but for the supreme knowledge, or out of gratitude for having received it, or out of gratitude for the transformation in their lives. Some look at the wise man from the standpoint of the ignorance and superimpose their own prejudices on him. Some go to him with expectations and if they are not fulfilled, they criticize him. Some with evil minds hate anyone who is good and even try to harm him. The wise man, however, is equal and unbiased to the one who loves him and the one who hates him. If we are not able to see greatness in the wise man and not able to worship him, we must at least stay away from him and not criticize him or create dislike and hate for him, as this can bring about our own downfall. The examples of Ravana, Kamsa and such demonic natured ones who criticize the Lord are well known in Hindu scriptures. Hari Om. So, in fact, today Swami Sri Premanand was also touching upon how to interact with a वाइज पर्सन. बहुत सुंदर सत्संग, और बार बार वो अपने कुछ जो लोग प्रश्न लेकर आते हैं वो कहते हैं हमें दुख मिल रहा है, तो कई बार उन्होंने कहा है कि लुक बैक एंड सी, कहीं आपसे कोई संत की निंदा तो नहीं होगी, कोई दुर्विचार तो नहीं आ गया. ही इज़ सो वेरी कॉन्शियस अबाउट इट. सो वी शुड ऑल्सो रिमेन वेरी कॉन्शियस. हमारी नेचर प्राय क्रिटिसाइज करने की है. कभी भी सपने में भी संत का अपमान ना हो जाए, इससे हम बहुत ध्यान रहें. और जितना बन पड़े, डोंट हैव टू गो एंड फिजिकली बी नियर अ सेंट टू सर्व हिम. फॉलो व्हाट ही सेज एंड हैव ओनली पॉजिटिव थॉट्स फॉर हिम. कोई पास में जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं. आज के सत्संग की बात बता रहा हूँ. कहते हैं आप दूर दूर से प्रणाम करिए, बट फॉलो हिम व्हाट ही सेज and don't have ill will towards him. So any questions? So I'll close with the closing prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. May the Lord's blessings be upon us and may we reach our destination. Hari Om.